Hi everyone, welcome to the Punters preview for round 12 of the NRL. It's been a few weeks now since we've done this podcast, but our Discord has been alive and we've gone really, really well. I think we're almost about to hit 2,000 people on there, which is incredible considering we're at about 300 people at the start of the NRL season only a couple of months ago. As always, guys, I'm just going to start off with our link tree over here. What you can see, if you just Google Wicky Linktree, you'll find what you see on your screen. You can follow us across all our socials over here. You can join our Discord, which is free. You can check out all our stuff here. A lot of the value plays that we send through only end up making our Discord now because the prices change usually by the time that we add them into the article. But the punters preview that I do, we do sort of put most of the value plays on there, especially at the start of the week, and explain the reasoning behind them. So you can check that out all over here. That'll be updated for around 12 later on Wednesday night. I'm recording this on Wednesday, our Sydney time. And obviously, if you want to, subscribe to our newsletter, you can play DraftStar, which is daily fantasy sport, paid version of fantasy and Supercoach, for example, but it's for every game rather than playing for the whole season long. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on here as well that you can check out. Our odds comparison tool, which I'll go through soon, you can check that out for free. So check that out here. And our odds comparison tool and how to get the most out of it yourself instead of reading my value plays. If you want to find your own, you can read this article to help you out as well. So I won't take too much time, guys. I'll get straight into it in a second. We're going to start off with the round 12 teams and any major changes. We're going to go into the punters preview from last week. I'll do a quick recap on what we've been up to the last few weeks, and then get straight into it in terms of value plays for this upcoming week. And I make them official when I put out the punters preview article, but there's a ton of them that I put out last night when the markets opened up. So just firstly, I guess very quickly, for the people that have been following Wicky and our work. So my name is Nicole. I'm the founder. I've been doing this for about 3 years, full time now. Most of you have probably only heard of us in the last year or so, but the odds comparison tool, which you see here, the punters preview, or the odds comparison tool has been going for 3 years now, because we launched this company pretty much, well, it was literally May 2020 when the NRL started up again. That's when I started doing all of this stuff. The punters preview I started a year ago. At Discord we started about a year ago. All this stuff's gone, kind of viral in the last couple of months, but it's been a lot of hard work for a long time. We realized that because there's so many people getting on these value plays, it's affecting the prices, and it's going to actually create problems for the people that are actually getting on at the moment. So having a think about how to best do things going forward. So if you're checking this out and you're part of our community already, message us on the feedback or suggestion channel, the sport betting channel on the Discord. I'd love to hear about your ideas of how we can make this a better experience for all of us. But yeah, either way, I just want to hear more opinions before we make decisions. But obviously, we've loved growing our community, and that's going to be the number one priority going forward. But we also just want to make sure people get the best prices, and they don't disappear within 60 seconds as they do sometimes. So moving on, team news. I'm going to do this really quickly. Broncos Panthers, massive game. Adam Reynolds is out, unfortunately. And from the Panthers side, Liam Martin played most of the game last week. He was fine. This is going to be a really good game. This line is actually now, I think, plus 6.5 or so to the Broncos, playing at home, last game before Origin. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Yes, Adam Reynolds is a huge loss, and yes, the Panthers are coming off a really impressive win last week against the Roosters. They smacked them 48-4, but I reckon this one might be a bit closer than the line suggests now, so that should be cool to follow. Dragons, Roosters, Manu's out, unfortunately. Big one for fantasy and Supercoach players. And for the Dragons, their coach is gone. So the few changes like Little's back in, Lomax is back in. Frankie Molo could be back as well. I think he was injured. So I think this game should be a bit closer than I think it's plus 6.5 to the Dragons. But I think with a new coach, again, last game before Origin, like renewed hope with some of their players back, I think the Dragons will be fresh, whereas the Roosters are going to be drained as hell, being smacked by the Panthers last week. So I'm actually kind of shocked that the line is so big, 6.5, I think, to the Dragons. So Rabbitohs, Eels, I think Tom Burgess was he was ruled out because of a back spasm, I think, a few minutes out from kickoff last week, and he's still not back. Jed Cartwright's gone as well, but otherwise that Rabbitohs side looks really, really good. Whereas the Eels have lost Sean Lane, and you see like Cartwright and Davey starting for them in the second row, Sean Russell, Bailey Simonson on the right side for the Eels. I think the Rabbitohs are clearly the better team here. Sharks and Knights. Cam McInnes, I think broken thumb or like a broken finger. He's out for a month or so. Braden ULA could make it back. He's one of our try scorer boys, as you guys know. Um, and the Knights looked really, really good last week. I remember I said Kalen Ponga is going to have a standout game, and the first half I was pretty nervous. I had a try score bet on him, I think from memory, but I definitely brought him into my super coach, my fantasy team. That second half was awesome. Seeing KP light it up. Again, getting ready for Origin. Tigers, Cowboys, Tanul Brown's out for the Cowboys, which means their bench is done. Price and another rookie over here with Granville. Like it's just really not an impressive bench. Whereas the Tigers actually look all right. They held the Rabbitohs, I think, to a try till about 10 minutes out only. So they at least their defense was good, and I think they won their two games before that from memory. So, anyways, the Tigers are looking decent. Cowboys are sort of on the up, but still missing a lot of players. And obviously they're traveling to Sydney for this one, so I think this game should be an interesting one as well. Dolphin Storm. This game is awesome. It's a lot. There's a lot of Storm players in that Dolphins team. And there's the storyline of Munster going to play the Dolphins and Wayne Bennett. We know what happened there with him looking like he was going to go to the Dolphins, bailing, and then apparently not having spoken to Wayne Bennett after that. So that's going to be really, really interesting. A lot of storylines in this one. And again, Stormside traveling to play the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are like strong outsiders, but I reckon yeah, as usual this year they'll probably surprise us and come close. Dogs Titans, we've heard a few things about the teams for this one, but one of the main ones is Ryan Sutton is potentially back. That Dogs pack is relatively weak, but Sutton would be a huge in for someone like a Sam Hughes or an Ockenbaugh even. He did score a try, however, last week. For the Titans, Khan Pereira is out. That came on the Gold Coast media. Most likely, it is going to be Jojo Fafita playing on the wing and Aaron Shop playing in the centers over there. But aside from that, no major team changes from either side. Just really quickly, I'll mention this Khan Pereira thing as an excuse to get onto our Discord. So that Khan Pereira news broke earlier today on Twitter through that Gold Coast journo. And you can see here that I put it up. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So I put in a screenshot from Twitter saying, Jojo Fafita is playing on the wing. He was an awesome price here. I also said if you don't have that account, he was a really good price on another couple of bookies. Obviously, in the news broke, we got some incredible value. A lot of the value plays, as you can see here, I've outlined. By the time that I actually make this podcast and also the Punter's free article, a lot of the prices do get shortened in. So I think going forward, if you're keen to obviously get the best prices more consistently, I can also tag everyone if you're keen on notifications to get these prices as early as possible because they disappear within minutes most times. But yeah, just another excuse to get onto our free Discord. I think we're at 1,910, and we really want to hit 2K this weekend. So yeah, come join and share it across to your mates. Sweet, let's get into it. So we had an amazing magic round. I think I remember now. So we hit a 67-1 shot. It was, I think, Billy Walters from memory, if I'm not getting confused. Second try scorer, which is awesome. At $67 odds. And then we hit Spencer Leniu, $101 to 1. First try scorer, second half. Freaking awesome. Like the way he scored, that was awesome as well. So obviously we had an incredible magic round. I think we had another anytime try scorer too as well. But then last week we hit God, I'm forgetting his name. Jermaine Hopgood, Eels game. We hit Jermaine Hopgood first try score at $81 odds. And then the next day, the Sunday, last game of the round, Royce Hunt scored the first try. Really, really annoyingly, for me personally, I wasn't on and really annoyingly for me, Royce Hunt, I didn't see that price early in the week, but it was on our odds comparison tool, which is why I always say make sure you have a look yourself. So I missed it, but it was out there on our tool. People saw that price. People got on Royce Hunt at really good odds. I think about around 67 to 81. And I've been tipping him for most of the season. So people know that, he shouldn't be that price. I missed it, but they did it. Ton of people got on and put their winning slips on our Discord, which is amazing to see. So a couple of big odds try scorers getting up. And that Hopgood try, why that was important. Yes, we had it as our punch preview, but quite a few people won a lot of money, which is great. But also we had a contest. We had a giveaway saying if you tip the first try scorer correctly, we'll transfer you that amount of money. And that got up $81 to 1. We transferred that person $80, which is awesome to see. And if I just look it up here, Hopgood should be in there. Bang, Hopgood was here. And I even mentioned Hunt somewhere. There you go. I mentioned that Gula is in the same league as Leniu, Kerr, and Royce Hunt as like that second tier of middle try scorer forwards. Like Josh Papali and Tino and Sofa Solomona actually are like the guns for middle forwards as try scorers. But definitely Royce Hunt scored last week. Kerr hasn't scored, but he's been really good prices recently. Leniu has scored. I think Gula scored one try, but he was $81 again. First try scorer second half last week. This week, sorry, last night. But it's been shortened now. So as I tell most of the guys on here, if you're new to try scorer punting, obviously gamble responsibly, start small. The best way to do it is just to think about how much you want to bet over a period of a month. So that's $100. And start looking at the plays that we've got. Anything that's big odds, 51, 67, 81, 101, that kind of thing. Only put $1 on it, maybe two at most. So you've got some skin in the game. You're reading our reasoning why we think it's a good value play. You're still getting a really good price, but obviously you don't want to trust just the fact that we're saying it's a good price. And then on the flip side, if we find like a really good $5 or $10 or $20 try scorer play, maybe put $3 or $5 on that. So I think that's like a really like manageable way to get into this stuff, learn about why we're saying things are a good price. And a month is a really good sort of like sample size as well, because if all you do is get on for a couple of games, oh, my middle forward try scorers aren't like this guy's stupid. Like, what's he on about? Well, yeah, like you're not going to get a prop score in the first try of a game every game. It does take some time. A month is, like it's going to be 3 rounds of NRL, a couple Origin games or whatever. You got 25, 30 games to go over, and you can see that things balance out over a period of time. I'm going to get straight into it, guys. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible this week because obviously it's the round before Origin. A lot of you guys already know this already, but let's get straight into it. So let's go. Broncos, Panthers, as always, the way that I break these down, actually, sorry, before I get into that, really cool. So since the last time I did this podcast, we've got Better on here as well now. And also we've got Dabble, which should be on here back probably like Thursday, okay, the day of the first game. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 7 bookies on here at the moment. And then when we get Dabble back on, that'll be 8. So that's a really nice choice in terms of bookies to bet on and find the best prices for. Model value, basically, if that's in the green, it's saying that our model thinks that's a good bet. Historical value, if that's green and a high number, it means that compared to their career strike rate, that's a good bet. That can let you down sometimes though, because people obviously change positions, or in this case, a lot of Broncos, they're playing the Panthers. So it just looks back at their career and not forward to the fact that they're playing the Panthers. Whereas this looks forward to the fact that, yes, they're, Jock Madden's a rookie, so this might not be great, but this is actually looking at the line and total for the game. So that's what the model does. And the market, it's purely the best price we can find on the market compared to the second best price. So this is basically telling you that the $10 you can find on Sportsbet and Better, it's way better than the $7 on PointsBet. So this might be a good bet because of that. But that's the simplest possible explanation I can give for what model, historical, and market value is. But always remember to like use your own judgment as well. So just because the model tells you Jock Madden is a good bet, doesn't necessarily mean it is. Like, you could say the Broncos are going to get smacked by the Panthers. I don't care if it's at Suncorp. Jock Madden, $10. No, I still don't like that bet. Whereas, for example, if you go to first try scorer, you might say Mitchell Kenny. Yeah, Mitch Kenny, $67. Holy shit, that is good because that's way better than any other bookie. And the Broncos are strong favorites. And I reckon you should definitely be way shorter than that kind of thing. And that $50 is pretty reasonable. Cool. That's enough for an explanation. I'm going to get straight into it. Anytime try score over here, I don't really like anyone, to be honest. Market value wise, Sorensen obviously scored 2 tries last week. 525, I think it's decent, but not amazing. First try scorer, model value, Carrigan. Oh, I think 126 is like a fun play. If it was 151s, yeah, I'd chuck a few bucks on that for fun. 126, I'm kind of 50-50 on. I wouldn't talk you out of it. It is a high price, but he's never scored a try before and he's playing the Panthers. So don't know about that. Whereas I like that $67 for Kenny, actually. Going into the next game here, Dragons, Roosters. Collins 81s. Don't love that, to be honest. Hutchison 34s, definitely like that. I've already outlined that on our Discord as a good value play. Laurie, it's interesting with Laurie. He ranged between like 81, which he is now, I think, on sport. No, he's 81 now on sports, but he was actually 126 for a little bit of time. And that's when I tipped it on Tuesday night on our Discord. I think the 101, you got to take that, I think. Like he scored 2 tries already this year. Frustratingly, the Dragons scored the first try last week. It was by a prop forward, but it was Debellion instead of Laurie. Like my heart literally stopped when the Dragons crashed over, and we had a lot of the guys get on Laurie at really juicy odds. I think it was 100 or 126 last week as well. And then it wasn't Laurie, it was Debellion, which is painful. But yeah, 101s, I'd definitely be taking that for Laurie. Market value, I don't know if I could get on the 51s for Turpin FTS second half. Historical, no one really stands out there. Forgot if I did this, but no one really stands out here as well. Cool, happy to move on. Rabbitohs, Eels, Sean Russell. He's on the wing and he's paying $3 to score. I just don't understand why he's that high, to be honest. Like Sivo's paying around $2. Like our model thinks Sivo should, like our model, remember, knows that they're playing Souths. Um, and it's got Sivo at $1.76. It's got Russell way higher, right? Which makes sense. Sivo's a way better player, a way better striker at scoring tries. I get all of that. But then if he's at 240, I get that, his career strike rate, $2 like converted to an odd to betting odds is 225. I get all of that. And most bookies have him sort of 250, 280. I think a lot of bookies have him pretty high. But yeah, just really like that $3 odds, to be honest. Aside from that, market value, Cheekam, $6, I think is, yeah, decent, but he hasn't scored a try this year, and I'm kind of against Paris, sorry. I think it might actually be a close game. I'm happy to leave that one for now. First try scorer, let's go model. Yeah, again, 17 for a winger in what should be, like, I don't think Para wins, but I don't think it's that much of a long shot. I still really like that, to be honest. Totola 81s, I like that as well. Going into model value, Wiramu Greg, $91. I said 3-ish weeks ago that I reckon he's like a combination like a ULA and a Talakai type of guy. He's looked really good, especially last week. Love that $91 price. I think he was even 101 at times on Sportsbet. So I definitely think that's a good value play. Yep. Happy to move on to the next game here. Sharks, Knights. This should be a really interesting game. Knights played really well last week. And obviously the second half they really lit it up, but it was against the Titans who don't have the best defense. Whereas the Sharks were kind of underwhelming. Like they looked like they were going to smack Manly. Manly just hung in and almost drew the game at the end. So I think, yeah, ATS wise, nope, don't love anyone here. Happy to look away from that. First try scorer, Kane at 81. I think at like 101. I definitely like it. I think 81. I wouldn't talk you out of it, but it's also like not amazing. It just doesn't seem like a try scorer, and I think I'm kind of higher on the Knights in this one as well. 81's Hastings. I outlined that as a value player. I think you just have to get on like a halfback at 81s or what should be, I think, like a closer game than most people think. I'm more than happy to say that that's a value play. And then market value. Hetherington starting 126s. Yep, I'll definitely get a little bit on for fun. Happy to have a stab at that. Aside from that, Lockie Fitz at 29, maybe. Left edge, Kalen Ponga. Loves going to the left back rower. I think 29s is, I just wish it was 34s. I would have definitely recommended that. But I think 29s, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to get on. In terms of high odds stuff, I think Dan Safidi 91s. Love that. Dan Safidi 91s is decent value. Saifidi at 81 or close to that. FTS second half, decent value as well. Or actually really good value, I'd say. Up against a Sharks pack that is now also missing Cam McInnes. And Hetherington at 126s. If that's still, I think anything at about 101, it's like, yeah, it's decent. 126, I don't know. I just think it's definitely worth a stab. Cool. Okay. So, oh, I haven't been saying, I haven't been saying the prices, sorry. But like, yeah, if you're listening to this, if you're not watching, I'll start saying the prices now. But a lot of these high odds, sorry, prices, have been on Sportsbet, but I'll start quoting them from now. I haven't done this for about 5 weeks, so lost my touch. But yeah, Hetherington 126 on Sportsbet, and so is Dan Saifidi 91, both for first try scorer. And the FTS second half stuff, Sportsbet's really weird. We got to actually check manually, but I think with the Safidi brothers, like Dan starting, Jacob's benched. So Dan, you'd want first try scorer, and Jacob, you want FTS second half. Anything at like 81 or above, I think is good value on those guys. Hastings 81 was Ned's, by the way. But as always, I type all these out into our punters preview article anyway. Tigers, Cowboys, don't love any time try scorer plays. Um, Market value, nope, don't love any of those. First try scorer market, McLean 81. I'm more than happy to stay away from him at 81. Do not rate him as a try scorer. Kashevsky scored 2 tries in the last 2 games, $34 against the Tigers. Love that. I actually have not put it in as value play, but I will do if it's around the time that I write the article. Um, you can see here market value being 131, super high. You can see he's 34 on 365, and next best is 26. Like it's clearly better than other bookies, and it's also clearly better than our model. So yeah, definitely like Kashevsky here is like the play of this game. Um, and I think that's it. What could be good is like a Riley Price FTS second half because he is an edge back rower. Where is he? 51. I still think that's okay, but you just don't know what role he's going to get, unfortunately. All right, anytime try scorer, Dolphin Storm. Loyero at 7. Yeah, he's been a value play from us for a few weeks now, and just like hasn't got the job done. I actually think he's not great value here. I'll tell you why a bit later, but essentially it's because I think a Service Solomon, if he plays, he will get some time on the edge, and Leo might not play the whole game on the edge. Kafusi, awesome odds in my opinion. 950 on better. Anytime try scorer, right edge for the Dolphins up against his older side. Munster at 360, love that on 365 as well. 2 reasons here for Munster, way better than what our models got him at, 285, up against Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins, who he has a little bit of beef with, I reckon. And then he's way better priced on 365 than other bookies as well. Nas at 675, I think is decent. But he's injured. I just wouldn't trust that, to be honest. Any other week, I might have gotten excited, but I'm going to leave that one for now. Model value Leo 51. This is what I like on PointsBet. The first try obviously starts on the left edge. Should play most of the game on the left edge, but I'd much rather go him FTS than go him ATS in case he doesn't play the whole game on the edge. It's the best value player for this game. Way better price than every other bookie for Leo 51 on PointsBet to score the first try. Munster, credible odds again. FTS 21 on Bet365. When I say FTS, for a lot of these players, um, especially like backs, you'd also want to, depending on the site, if the price is the same for first and last try scorer, I'd also be getting on last try scorer as well. Obviously, don't like if you wanted to go, $5 on Munster FTS, don't go $5 on him FTS and LTS and your 3 other bets. You have to minimum like lower your stakes a little bit to sort of diversify across the options that are available in the game. So I don't want to use like, like long words for simple things here, but essentially like whatever amount you wanted to put on, just put a smaller amount on instead on first try scorer. Like you might want to put $2 on first try scorer, $2 on last try scorer, $10 on anytime try scorer, for example, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket and saying, all right, I'm going to put $10 on first try scorer and that's it, kind of thing. But yeah, aside from that, Tom Gilbert, I still think 81's fine, by the way. So, oh my God. You know what stuff? 81's really good. So we got on him at 101 Tuesday night, but he's now 81. That's still an incredible price. Tom Gilbert is a try scorer. I think he scored 1 or maybe even 2 tries this year. I think he scored 3 last year. A lot of it was on the left edge last year, but he's already scored 1 or 2 this year. And yeah, I just love Tom Gilbert as a try scorer. $81, a great price. Anything 71 or above, I'd take. 61 and less, I wouldn't take him against the Storm. Perfusi 51's great price as well. That Gilbert 81's on Sportsbet, by the way, and the Liero 51 PointsBet. Perfusi's 51 on Sportsbet, Neds, and Better. Market value, yeah, you see how Tom Gilbert stands out, and so does Munster. Munster's prices are on 365, by the way. Love all of those. Cool. Second last game, Dogs and Titans. Obviously, we pointed out the Jojo Fafita bet. What actually makes that call even better? You look at Jojo Fafita's prices. This is him as a center. He was actually a model had him at $3.40. And he was crap odds as a center on most bookies. But then we found him at 550 on Dabble. So if Dabble was on here, and for whatever reason they weren't early today, but if Dabble was on here, he was already a good price as a center, a really good price as a center. Most bookies had him at, oh well, this is updated now, sorry, because now they know he's a winger. But um, like most bookies had him, I think, around 3 or 330 or whatever. And model had him around that price, so around 340, and we were getting 550. So he was already an incredible value bet just as a center, and now he's playing on the wing, and he's going to be around $2 or even shorter. So it just shows you how good that value was on Dabble. Um, Going across the market value, nope, don't love anything here. But yeah, you can see how that Fafita, that points bet price stuck around and all the other bookies reacted. It's pretty cool to actually see that happen. Model value, a lot of good stuff here. Stimson, 51 on Neds and PointsBet, the right side back row up for the Gold Coast Titans. Fodawaker at 101's decent on Neds. Oh, Boren scored 2 tries a couple of weeks ago, but can't back him at 41. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Waddell scored a try a couple of weeks ago. He's also 41. So basically, you've got Stimson, King, Fodawaker, Foreign, and Waddell as like the amazing or like really good value players according to our model for first try scorer markets on and the Dogs Titans game. I personally think Florida at 101 is probably like the most enticing, along with maybe like a Stimson at 51. So Florida 101 is on Neds, Stimson 51 is on Neds and PointsBet. The others, you can obviously check out the tool and see the prices if you're just listening to this. Market value, no, happy to stay away. Oh, well, it really points out how good that Potueka bet is actually. So maybe it might make the value place. Pangai Jr. with 126 to score the first round sport bet when the markets came out, and I think I missed out on that by a few seconds, frustratingly enough. But it just shows like his true price should be kind of like in that 50 to 70 range, I'd say, going off what our model thinks, what his strike rate thinks, and other bookies. Bookies have me at 51 or less. I wouldn't bet on that for Pangai Jr., but yeah, 126 was just nuts. So good luck to those of you guys that got on him. Um, anytime try scorer markets, I think Whitehead 625 on Sportsbet and better, clear standout, way better price than a model, way better price than his career strike rate, and way better price than other bookies that all have him like around. Our model, his strike rate, and other bookies all think he should be around $5, and you're getting 625. Like it's just clear value. I'd stay away from Jake Turbo. $15 on Sportsbet. He just always pops up as good value because he was such a good try scorer earlier in his career, but he just isn't anymore. So I'd probably stay away from that. And then market value, nope, happy to stay away there. And then last one, model value for first try scorer, 101 Sportsbet, Sean Kepi. What I would like to do instead is he was around 46 or 51 to score the first try for his team on Sportsbet. I'd much rather do that. Canberra is like pretty relatively strong favorite. I think 5 or maybe 4, roughly 1 try favorites. Amalia not looking so good the last few weeks, obviously. I'd rather go first try score a team, considering he might score the second or third try of the game, and then take a punt on him at 101s, just because they're obviously the outsiders for the game. But if that sports bet price creeps up a little bit, you probably want to have a crack at first try scorer. And yeah, Whitehead 34s, which is on most sites. If you see him at 41 anywhere, that's a pretty good play. 34 Brad Parker on Neds is decent as well. But probably not good enough to actually go on. Papali was at 61 or 67 earlier, but he's not anymore. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool. So I tried to shoot through that as quickly as possible. I think, as usual, guys, like I know I haven't done this podcast for a little while, but what we're trying to do is with our Discord, it's just about to hit 2,000 people. We're trying to get as many people. If you are interested in try scorer punting, I've written an article to help you out there. Me and probably like 5, 10 other guys sort of punting on this stuff or discussing this stuff pretty consistently, more than happy to help out. So if you've got any questions, ask us on there on the sport betting channel once you join the free Discord. All our stuff at the moment is for free. Our content, our data tools, our Discord group, we are trying to grow it as much as possible. So as usual, if you could like our stuff, share our stuff, we'd really appreciate it. And otherwise, gamble responsibly and enjoy round 12 of the NRL, because there's not too long to go to Origin. And that's all we'll be talking about real soon. All right. Anyways, guys, good luck and enjoy the footy.